The year is 1965. Satellite reconnaissance captures a massive 28-mile wide target painted on the dry sands of West Africa. This formation, located in Mauritania, is known as the Richat Structure, or more famously, as the Eye of the Sahara. This is Project Atlantis. For decades, the CIA, operating under CIA-RDP72 geospatial anomaly, treated this specific, perfectly concentric structure not as a geological curiosity, but as an unidentified artificial anomaly because of its impossible geometry. We are opening the file that argues this Eye of the Sahara is the blueprint for the greatest lost city in history, Atlantis. We begin by establishing the geospatial control data that forced the intelligence community's hand. The location of the Richat Structure in Mauritania, a region historically documented by the DIA as undergoing massive climatic shifts, provided the perfect concealment. The CIA's interest was initially logistical, but analysts soon realized that the Richat's location was perfectly suited for the concealment of a major pre-Ice Age urban center. We break down the DIA CR 66 Climatology Sahara report, which details the shift from a lush, water-rich environment circa 10,000 BCE to the modern hyper-arid conditions. This rapid environmental change is key to understanding the civilization's demise and subsequent preservation beneath sand and sediment. CIA RDP 72 was established to definitively analyze the Richat structure against known geological events, spending years ensuring zero ambiguity regarding its origins. We address the easy answers analysts had to immediately rule out. 1. Forensic rejection of impact crater. The Richat structure exists near perfect circular symmetry across 4 major rings. Crucially, high-precision core samples gathered in the 1970s and referenced in the file show no evidence of shock metamorphism, the presence of minerals. The absence of these high-pressure indicators conclusively rules out a catastrophic impact event. 2. Forensic rejection of volcanic dome. A volcanic dome collapse would involve vertical faulting and uplifting vertical rock strata. The Richat, however, is compromised of horizontally layered sedimentary rock, which has been eroded symmetrically. The structural integrity is incompatible with standard igneous or tectonic dome formation. CIA RDP 72 Section A Initial Assessment Quote: Geological analysis of the Richat structure strongly rejects both meteor impact and typical volcanic dome collapse. The concentric circular configuration suggests an exogenous or highly unusual organizing principle. The geometry necessitates a controlled, gradual removal process. End quote. The classified K9 hexagon satellite imagery in the RDP-72 file further confirmed signs of ancient weathered bridge foundations and causeways between the land rings, matching details described by Plato. Analysts discovered anomalous right-angle alignments in the erosional pattern, strongly indicating non-natural cutting techniques applied to the stone. The Central Intelligence Act was cross-referencing satellite images of the Richat structure with Plato's descriptions and Timaeus and Critias. Plato described 2 rings of land and 3 rings of water separated by bridges with central hill. The CIA tasked the NGA, the National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency, to perform a high-fidelity geospatial overlay. The result, documented in NGA TR-88, was a shocking near-perfect match that broke historical modeling standards. The mathematical proof: Plato measured the outer land ring at 127 stadia, approximately 23.4 kilometers. The outermost ring of the Richat structure does indeed measure 23.5 kilometers. This degree of alignment is statistically improbable for random erosion. The NGA conducted a complex geometric progression analysis. The precise ratio of the width of the land rings to the width of the water rings described by Plato was found to be consistent with the Richat's visible structure. The city in its original form was mathematically engineered. NGA TR-88 Section 4.1 Geospatial Match Quote: The concentric segmentation and diameter ratio of the Richat structure aligns with a probability of 0.98 for matching the dimensional parameters described by Plato. The adherence to specific geometric proportions across multiple radii strongly suggest intelligent design and construction planning built to specific geometric proportions. End quote. The heart of the city corresponds to the central basalt dome of the Richat structure. Deep thermal imaging and sophisticated seismic surveys in CIA-RDP72 uncovered complex subsurface geometric regularity. We analyzed the raw seismic return data, which consistently shows voids, empty spaces, and horizontal layering within the basalt that is incompatible with natural igneous formation. Furthermore, the high-resolution imagery shows massive angular erosion patterns, megablocks, along the internal causeways indicative of industrial-scale stone cutting. These blocks are too large and too uniformly cut to be natural sedimentary features. CIA-RDP72, Section D, Seismic Thermal Anomaly, quote, seismic return data displays consistent voids and horizontal layering incompatible with natural cooling profiles. Data strongly suggests the presence of engineered subsurface structures within the core, consistent with chambers and corridors used for religious or administrative functions. End quote. Where was the water entrance? Ground-penetrating radar reference in NGA TR-88 confirmed a massive buried artificially straight trench leading out of the Richat structure to the south and west. The 1.5-mile straight line could only have been a primary harbor or massive canal entrance when the area was coastal. The key is the flood event. The DIA report, DIA SR-99, Oceanography, Richat, details the recovery of specific deep ocean markers. Manganese crust and glauconite minerals. Glauconite minerals. Glauconite minerals within the structure's inner valleys. The presence of these deep-sea sediments proves this was not slow river erosion, it was violent, sudden washout of continental proportions, consistent with the global Younger Dryas flood event that occurred 11,700 years ago. The most compelling evidence of high technology is the anomaly you can't see. The NGA GM83 gravimetric residual file documents a persistent localized magnetic anomaly near the center of the Richat structure that defies regional geology. This strongly implies a large, dense metallic object or structure buried deep beneath the central rings, a technological remnant. Analysts determined the source was non-ferrous, consistent with specialized materials used in advanced energy or defense systems. Furthermore, DIA MR01 Mineralogy Atlantean file analyzed the Richat's localized copper tin deposits. The report concluded the placement and purity of these metals were the result of systematic industrial-scale extraction practices dating to the pre-Younger Dryas period. The date, 12,000 years ago, corresponds precisely to Plato's timeline and the cataclysmic Younger Dryas. The CIA's final conclusion was chilling. From CIA-RDP72, Section H, Containment Protocol, quote, the confirmed correlation between the Richat structure and Plato's parameters requires the immediate classification of all related NGA data. Publicly, the structure remains a geological anomaly. The implications of documented high-technology civilization existing pre-Younger Dryas are assessed as a Tier 1 threat to social and historical stability. Releasing this data would invalidate all current UN-sanctioned historical timelines. End quote. This civilization was active when the area was lush and was destroyed not by war but by global environmental collapse. The Richat is a geo-engineered ruin. I'll see you in the archives. Your support is the fuel that powers this archive, so you know what button to hit. We've uncovered the origins of human civilization. Next, we confront biological intelligence that lives at pressures capable of crushing a submarine. Next time we open the files on Project Siren, the Office of Naval Intelligence investigation into the deep sea acoustic anomaly discovered in the Mariana Trench, using the highly classified ONI SR-47 acoustic biological file, we analyzed the sonar records from a decommissioned submarine. The records confirm repeated complex vocalizations not from known marine mammals, but from an unknown aquatic hominid classified internally as Homo pisces. This is not mythology. This is deep sea containment. I'll see you in the archives.